Thanks for the note, by the way.
Sorry. Oh, thank you.
You're
yeah,
welcome.
It makes it easier for both of us.
It does, doesn't it?
Yep.
The map has some interesting suggestions sometimes, so it really helps to go to the right spot that way.
Yep.
Brian, my name is Biniam.
Biniam.
Yes.
Nice.
How goes your Wednesday?
Sorry?
How goes your Wednesday?
Oh, online class this morning.
Okay. Is that for university?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you enjoy that component or not so much?
Oh, how to say this? Early this year,
Yeah.
halfway the semester, we transitioned to online, and it was pretty terrible because
Yeah.
the change is abrupt.
Yeah.
But now, I kind of like it
Oh, you do now?
in a way.
Okay. And what are you enjoying about it?
That I don't get to see my classmates.
Yeah.
I mean,
Does that make you an introvert?
I am actually.
Okay.
I have a really bad social anxiety.
I understand that, so it kind of makes sense that way, then,
I
eh?
know it sounds stupid, and I'm in my early 20s now, but it makes me really anxious whenever there's like a lot of people in the room.
Yeah.
Seriously, I don't know, I can't help it.
And has that always been the case?
Yeah,
Okay.
like
So-
I don't know, I'm trying my best not to feel that way.
Sure,
Like
no.
I cannot break free.
Yeah.
But there are moments where it gets really bad.
Okay. And I'm guessing that amplifies a lot more when there's like group projects in front of the class.
Yeah, that's why I struggle a lot whenever there's like group work.
Yeah.
People might perceive me as someone who doesn't want to contribute. It's just that I don't know, the words doesn't come out of my mouth. Like
Yeah.
the ideas, it makes me like stutter and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I understand. Yeah.
It's just like I'm not like a really people person.
It
And
debilitates you, kind of.
sorry.
It's debilitating.
I know. And it makes me wonder how am I gonna perform in like the career afterwards. I mean, because you need to be like a good team player and stuff like that.
Sure.
You need to be able to communicate your ideas
Yeah.
in a coherent manner. But geez, I don't know.
Now, I'd say you're doing pretty well with me. It doesn't kick in when you're talking one-on-one with...
Sorry?
Does it kick in when you're talking with people you don't know one-on-one or not at all then?
Yeah.
Oh, it does kick in then. Like the anxiety. For example, here we are talking, and I was thinking, you're doing pretty well with me. Does it kick in when you're talking to strangers that you don't know?
Not really. For
No.
strangers, it doesn't feel like anything because I feel like I'm not gonna see them any like sooner,
Yeah,
or not gonna see them at all
sure.
again.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have more meaningful conversations with strangers than
Oh,
the
okay.
people that I actually interact with most of the time.
Gotcha.
It's just I don't know. It's like a terrible feeling that whenever I walk into a room, I feel like they're staring at me, or like when they're murmuring, they're like talking about me, even
Yeah.
though it doesn't really happen. It's just
Gotcha.
that it's. I don't know.
I understand.
And people sometimes think that I'm like really rude,
Yeah.
but like I can't look them in the eye for some reason.
Gotcha.
I don't know, it's so weird.
Thanks for sharing that with me. I would not have guessed all that.
Yeah. I don't know.
You did pretty well. Like, here's the thing. To be able to articulate all that is a huge thing. Do you know why? Because it's not easy to communicate those things internal. It's like
It's,
you feel vulnerable when you stand in front of people.
I do. I feel like I'm naked.
And yeah, and I get that. And the other component about that is that when you have that sense in front of people, it sort of robs you from being able to even communicate and say, here's what's going on, just so that everyone's aware and can, interact appropriately, right? Which leaves you even in more of a deficit. But then to be able to describe to a stranger saying, here's what goes on for me, it's a huge accomplishment to be able to say, I'm going to put together a series of words so that you can understand how I struggle this way. That means like you're, in essence, like having some sort of control in your mind to be able to say, here's what what I need to say so that I can get to this end over here and they can get to the same destination. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. It's awesome.
Thank you. Because here's the thing, I've been
Yeah.
like keeping it all by myself for years. I kept like bottling it up,
Yeah.
and I thought once it's over, you probably let go of that baggage. But no, it's still with you if you don't like talk it out and let other people know. I think it helps to lessen the load.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if I'm going to interact or stand in front of my class to
Yeah.
people that I usually go to and see them every day,
Yeah.
it's so hard for me like to explain my side because
Yeah.
they might think I'm being like over dramatic or just being so lame. Like,
Yeah.
that's why whenever I need to present something in front, usually I don't like bring that topic up.
Yeah.
It's just, but most of the time I like perform okay.
Yeah.
But just like after I sit down or like after like the presentation,
Yeah.
my heart still pumps so fast and I kept on thinking about things that aren't really there.
Right. Would it comfort you to know that there are most likely others in the same context, in the same room with you, who are going through a similar silent struggle?
Yeah, it does help me to think that way, but most of the time it is not really like a visible
I know.
kind of thing, so it's kind of hard like to relate to someone on
Yeah.
that aspect. And
Yeah.
since I'm newly arrived here, I was born and raised here. I just moved here like 2 years ago, and it was like really hard to build relationships. I mean, friendly relationships.
Yeah.
It was hard because I really find it like Canadians. They were like really nice people. Don't get me wrong, but like to the point that they sound phony sometimes.
Gotcha.
They say all the nicest things about
Yeah.
you. They were like, we should definitely hang out sometime, but then we're gonna talk to you again when we walk
know.
past of you.
Where are you from?
I'm from the Philippines.
Okay. So I've also experienced that dynamic because I've been here for about 32 years.
Where are you
There-
from?
I was born in Ethiopia.
Oh, okay.
I grew up in Kenya,
Uh-huh.
but I was 8 years old when I moved here.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
That sounds so Canadian.
So I've been here a long time to be able to contrast this culture and get to understand it really well with the one I came from as well.
Yeah.
And to be able to understand the nuances, the in-between
Yeah.
fine print. And it's been very important for me to learn it so that I can understand how to engage it, call it out, kind of work through and in between. Not only to like understand the way things are and what people mean when they say something, which may have other meanings,
Yeah, I know.
but also to be able to use that in the opposing way, whereby I say, I'm not settling for that, I'm going to settle for something else, which is a lot more meaningful and substantial. My experience since then has been tremendously rich socially. So even though I can't relate with you,
Uh-huh.
I'm hearing empathetically your experiences. Yeah, I'm listening with keen interest, if you will.
That's so nice of you. I
Well,
mean,
thank you.
it was like the first 2 years of my life here, it was like a really rough patch.
I believe
As I'm
it.
saying, like, the change is very abrupt.
Yeah.
I'm like 19 when I moved here, and all
if I can't propose some ideas. Now, I like talking about ideas. I like talking about ideas because I think they have power in some sense. Like, I believe they have a way of like, with ideas, it's almost like ideologies that we're considering and saying, is this something worthwhile putting our eggs in this basket or not? So when I'm proposing these next couple ideas, I would really appreciate you pushing back and saying, I like it or I don't like it for the following reasons, and just being blunt that way, okay?
Yeah.
One of the things I found in my personal experience that is super freaky but so helpful, I found, is learning to lead with my weakness. And what I mean by that is the very things that I'm scared about that others may find out about me that make me feel vulnerable.
Yeah.
I lead with that, saying, okay, here's how I'm struggling, and this is what you need to know about me as we're interacting, whatever context in it. So the idea that I'm proposing for you to be able to not only put out there saying, here's my struggle right here, here's what it looks like in this box called anxiety, social anxiety, here's what the expressions are. A lot